couple of things we need to go over before we start the news conference. First of all, reminder to please turn off your phones. Either turn them off or put them on vibrate, because I have been known to embarrass people. Also, please no video from the phones here. Hi, Chris. Fine. We are streaming on the NCAA site, and there will be the full news conference available on the FTP site at the ncaa.org site. A couple of announcements before we start. The NCAA has agreed to a 4-year extension with Frisco, Texas, to continue holding the Division I football championship title game here at Toyota Stadium, hosted by the Southland Conference, the City of Frisco, and Hunt Sports Ventures. The extension will keep the championship game in Frisco through 2020. Operational pregame meal will be here tomorrow morning from 9 until 11. And photographer's vest will be handed out at 9:15 tomorrow morning in the photographer's white tent on the north end zone of the stadium. And you'll be able to return those vests at the same place after the game. We are, of course, as always, have a transcript available so with ASAP, they'd like for you to identify yourself on each question, wait for us to get one of the handheld mics over to you, and then tell us who you're directing the question to. First of all, we're going to have an overview from Coach Kleiman, and then we'll direct questions at the student athletes, and then back to Coach after we dismiss the student athletes. I think last time we were here, I said something about one for the thumb.
I don't know if you did or not.
I did. So?
Well, we're excited to be back here. Obviously, it was a lot of adversity, but a lot of really good football by the guys as well to handle that adversity. We always talking about attacking the adversity that you face, and we faced it right off the bat of the season, losing a tough game at Montana, and we came in the locker room and just told the guys, don't let this game define you, and continue to attack the process. And we talk about that a lot, attacking the process and just winning the play and having an opportunity, if you win every play, to win a game. So real excited that we're able to come here for a 5th straight time, but in the same respect, we keep talking about to our guys, this is the 2015 Bison. It's not the 11, 12, 13, or 14. This is the 2015 Bison. It's about this group of young men that are going to go out there and play against an exceptional Jacksonville State football team that we have a tremendous amount of respect for. They're very explosive on offense and lights out on defense. And we're excited about the challenge for tomorrow at 11 o'clock. And also excited to announce that Carson Wentz is going to start a quarterback tomorrow. And something that we've been kind of going back and forth, and obviously I know the first thing you guys are going to ask me is, what made you decide, or when did you decide? You guys know me too well, Jeff, that Carson's practiced a lot more than you guys have ever realized he's practiced. And I'm excited because we have 2 exceptional quarterbacks ready to play a football game in Easton Stick, who I told to when I met with him this week, as well as and Carson and Easton are really good friends. We wouldn't be in this position without Easton Stick. There's just no way we'd be here without the tremendous ability of what Easton has done. But throughout the process of getting Carson enough snaps and ready to play, we came to the conclusion that he's going to be the guy that takes the first snap under center. So with that, I'll open up for questions.
Okay, we'll direct to the players first, please. Okay, right here, Calhoun, and Melissa will get mics to you.
Dom Izzo, WDAY-TV. Carson, describe this whole process and when you felt healthy enough and ready to go.
Yeah, it's been a long, frustrating process, to say the least. Lots of doctor's appointments, lots of things I didn't want to hear for a long time. About 2 weeks ago, I really started progressing quite a bit, practicing, almost full go. And just kind of getting my feet wet again with practice, threw some Scout 7 on, did some things and just kind of progressed my way. And this week has just been a whirlwind, finally realizing I'm going to get a chance to start one more time. So a lot of emotions, and I'm excited to get one more opportunity with these guys.
Back here on the...
David Watkins, NBC5 locally. Carson, I know you're focused on this game, but How have you reacted to kind of the national attention you're getting as far as your prospects for the NFL?
Oh, I mean, it's cool and it is what it is, but, I'm not the only one on the squad getting that attention either. We got a lot of guys with ability, whether it's seniors or underclassmen. We're just focused on the task at hand, which is tomorrow.
Back here, Calhoun.
Beth Hool, Valley News Live out of Fargo. Joe Haig, what's it feel like to hear that Carson Wentz is going to start this game? A fellow senior, a guy you've been through a lot with.
Yeah, it's awesome. Obviously, he's been going up against a lot of adversity, but just knowing Carson, what kind of competitor he is, it's obviously really exciting for us. We love that Carson to be able to come back. We love that we're gonna be able to protect him, and just happy to play this game and get out there Saturday and play.
Guys, remember to speak into the mic in front of you there.
Sorry,
okay.
one here.
You heard him. Okay. Here up front.
Jeff Kopak, the Forum in Fargo. Carson, when were you medically cleared, and how long has it been since you've been really full speed like you think you should be?
Yeah, about a little over 2 weeks is when I was full speed. I kind of pushed the envelope a little bit. This Monday, my CT scan revealed that I was fully cleared.
Here in the back.
Mike McCann with KVRR in Fargo. Carson, now that you are in this position, what can you say about the job that Easton did all season to get you guys here?
Can't say enough. Him and I are best friends, and he's done a tremendous job. I owe him so much. I remember when I got hurt, he kind of looked at me and laughed. He's like, "It's gonna be my job to get you back out there again," and he did an unbelievable job, and I owe him a lot.
Well, let's have some mic too, guys. Here we go.
Have you seen a lot of live bullets in practice, so to speak? It was a lot of more 7-on-7, or were you actually in pads a lot, Carson? Or how did that all work the last couple of weeks? Brian Sean, by the way, KVLY, sorry.
Yeah, no, I've been facing pretty much live everything. Obviously quarterbacks in red in practice, not getting hit, so that helped a lot. But I've been seeing live reps for about two weeks or so now.
David Watkins again, locally, NBC5. Carson, I'm curious if you have an opinion on the Dallas Cowboys. They might be looking for a quarterback in the draft.
Focus on the game, thanks.
Beth Hool, KVLI. Carson, what sort of advice did you get from Randy Hedberg, maybe some other people who have been mentors to you, just about those future opportunities, but having this last moment and this last opportunity?
I've gotten advice, both ways from all sorts of people, but I'm a competitor, and I've been through way too much with this program and this university to not, push the envelope like I mentioned earlier and do everything I possibly could to get back out there. And I'm just very fortunate enough that I will get that opportunity tomorrow.
Okay, here in the back.
Mike McCann with KVRR again. CJ and Nick, for you guys, without giving away too much of the game plan, we've heard an awful lot about Jacksonville State's offense. If you had to say, we have to stop this to be successful, what is the this?
This is always the run. That's the one thing that we emphasize, the linebackers and D-line. That's one thing that we emphasize every day in practice, every year. That's the one thing that we do with every team. We want to stop the run first. I'm sure Nick can say the same.
Yeah, definitely. There's not really one thing you can game plan for. This team has a lot of offensive weapons, so just trying to get them off schedule early and get on top of them.
Mike O'Brien, KVRR. This is for CJ and Nick again. If you heard Coach talk this year's team a little bit different, obviously, from last year's team, but looking back to last year's national championship with Illinois State, they had the running back Coppridge, the dual threat. Do you see any similarities in Jacksonville State? You go back to last year to look at any schemes you guys implemented in that game, try and do it again this year?
A little similar. I think Jacksonville State this year is more explosive than Illinois State was last year, and so we have our hands full. And so, yeah.
There's not much touch on that. Yeah.
That was a ditto.
Yeah.
Okay. Got up here front.
Steve Hallstrom, WZFG Radio, Fargo. Carson, being out of game action for 2 months, what's going to be the biggest adjustment getting back to the game speed as compared to practice and scrimmages, and how have you tried to ready yourself for what you'll see tomorrow?
Yeah, like I mentioned, I ended up throwing some scout team stuff facing the speed of our defense a couple times, so that helped tremendously. The biggest thing is just going to be getting hit right away. But for me, it's almost got that first game feel again. I kind of feel like I've almost been out a whole year for that matter, and it's kind of a short one-game season for me.
Okay, here, in the middle.
Ross Uglum, Scout Media. CJ, talk to me a little bit about Barge, their receiver, and what challenges he and Jenkins pose to your defense.
They're both really good. Jenkins, he's the other 15. He's a really good receiver. He's really athletic. Barge, just seeing him on tape, he runs really good routes. Probably the best routes that I've seen by any receiver ran so far this year. And so they take shots downfield. They come down with a lot of them. And so just looking forward to the challenge.
Okay, any more questions for the players? Okay. Melissa, you got business.
Actually, mine's for you, Coach. I'm Mark Edwards, the Anniston Star.
We're going to hold off with the
Okay.
coaches. Just go with the players first until we dismiss them. Okay? We'll have time for just 2 more questions.
Carson, I think you said once the green helmets came out, you wanted to play. Was that the indication then when you made the vote that you were going to play when the green helmets came back?
I remember when we first revealed that we were wearing green helmets. I think that was the Western Illinois game. I was a little upset. I was excited for the guys, but I was kind of bitter about not being able to wear them. So I told Coach if I ever get a chance to play again, we're going to wear those. So I've been in his ear the last kind of 3 weeks. If I'm going, we're going to wear those. So he came through for me.
Okay, one last question for the players. Okay. Up or not? Anybody? Thanks, guys. Good luck tomorrow. Thank you.
It's harmless, Carson.
Thanks, CJ. Okay, we'll start over here with Coach Kleiman.
Hi, Coach. Again, Mark Edwards, Anniston Star. Did you consider withholding your announcement on Carson and just let us find out tomorrow at 11 o'clock?
We did consider that, but I wanted to get Carson in front and let him have his day and let him visit. And hey, it is what it is, and we have 2 capable quarterbacks ready to play, and we're excited about tomorrow.
Coach David Watkins, local NBC. For those who haven't seen Carson play, how would you describe him as a quarterback?
Big, strong-arm kid that extremely athletic, very smart at the line of scrimmage, and has all the attributes that a lot of people like, and exceptional leader. And what he had given Easton is what Easton is as well, and that's why I know the future is extremely bright for Easton as well.
We're going to back here and then come up to you.
Coach, should we expect to see Easton on the field at all tomorrow?
Well, he's ready to go. That's what I'll tell you. He is ready to go. I've visited with him. Coach Hedberg has, obviously. Coach Polisek has, and Easton's had. When you practice for 3 weeks, everybody's had plenty of reps, so he's ready to roll.
Up here, up front.
How tiring has this question been of Wentz, in the last 2 months?
It's been a little tiring. There's no question about that, and I think everybody understands the realm of when he was cleared to truly throw was back at or come back to practice and throw. I think was that first playoff game with you and I, and he was throwing. I mean, that was the thing that none of you guys realized was he was doing just what we said. He was throwing at that time, and then each week he probably progressed a little bit more, and even to the point of the last doctor's appointment, those were all planned out that he had for months, and we knew if we could get through the semifinal game, there was a great chance that he would play or be able to play, and we won the semifinal game, and had a couple of days before Christmas that he and I visited, and then when he came back from Christmas, he's been kind of full go ever since. And that's the one thing that you guys talk about, the live bullets and those other things. Most of you guys that have seen our practices, we don't walk through many things. We go really hard. It doesn't matter if it's scout team against our first offense or a number of times like we do. first defense against first offense. And other than being hit, but I'll be honest with you, Easton Stick hasn't been hit since Richmond, and not a lot of your quarterbacks get hit in practice. He's had plenty of live repetitions as far as 2 minutes, 7-on-7, pass under pressure with guys like Shatsy and Menard coming off the edge and stuff. So I don't foresee that being an issue at all.
Okay.
Coach, when did you make that decision that Carson would be the starter, and what progressed from the semifinal game to now that makes you comfortable with that?
Well, just when we came back from our Christmas, he started taking a bunch of snaps, and once again, because we have so many plays in a practice, he would take half, Easton would take half, and we were just, okay, everything's great on Monday. Let's give him a few more on Tuesday. But there's a lot of plays in there that I knew as the middle of last week that he was going to be ready to go. Just watching him spin it around out there, you knew there was no ill effects from his hand or anything. And then not only that, but because you have so much time in this 3 weeks off, you do a lot of walkthroughs. You spend so much time with the guys that you know they're prepared, and that's something that I wanted to make sure from a mental standpoint he was prepared, and he answered all those questions.
Just remember to identify yourself, please.
Coach Dom Izzo, WDAY. Are you worried about rust, a rust factor that he hasn't played since October 17th?
No, not at all. It's Carson Wentz. He'll be fine.
Okay, up front. Just hand it off.
Jeff Kopak, the Forum. A couple things. In this day and age of social media, how tough is it to keep that? With, players leaking out and talking.
It's extremely difficult. It's interesting. Our kids are pretty savvy and pretty smart. We didn't emphasize it to the team. Don't say anything. Don't say anything. They know. I mean, that's why a lot of those kids are in the program here for 4 and 5 years, and those kids that are in the program, like a Joe Haig, will make sure and tell a young kid that stays in here. It's simple why you close the practice and stuff, and why you want to make sure that when you're in the bubble, nobody can get in there anyway. But just with closed practices, you can do a lot of things. And I wanted to make sure that it wasn't a real media circus for the guy either, and let him do his work so that he can get ready to play.
And how do you respond to people saying, well, he shouldn't play because he's got a future NFL draft, he might get hurt again?
I would say he's been cleared by the doctors. He and I have talked extensively. He's ready to play. And if you're cleared and you're a competitor, which we know Carson is, and you look at the guys that are up here, C.J. Smith's a fifth-year senior, Carson Wentz, fifth-year senior, Joe Haig, fifth-year senior. You want to play with your brothers one more time. And there was, once we won that semifinal game, in the back of my mind, I thought, okay, he's going to be ready to go because he wants to do this for all these guys that he came in with.
Back over here.
Chris, Ryan Gellner from KFGO. A no-brainer for you in this decision? Did you lose some sleep? Did you bounce it off coaches? How'd you come to the final decision, you yourself?
I don't sleep a whole lot during this time of year anyway. My wife can tell you that. No, it wasn't, when you say a no-brainer, if he's healthy, yeah, there wasn't any question. It was just us as a coaching staff, and not just me, but Tim and Randy as well, seeing how he's throwing the ball, seeing how he was able to take his drop, seeing all the things that he was doing. I know one thing, since, Ryan, you can tell me this, how long has he been working out with Coach Kramer? Since October, I would say, or excuse me, since November 1st? Since November 1st, he's been doing patterns. He's been doing all sorts of running. Every day that kid was out there, even when we knew he wasn't playing the whole month of November, he's in phenomenal shape. There's not any doubt about that.
Back here.
Beth Wool, KVLY. Coach, when did you tell the team, and what did you tell them, the final word?
We didn't have a big production of our team meeting, Beth. They see it at practice. They see, okay, he's with the ones right now. Easton's with the ones right now. They understand. And let's be honest, Nick DeLuca and C.J. Smith have their hands full trying to stop a phenomenal offense. In our offense, you guys see the way we practice. It's a machine that just rolls as far as the amount of reps and plays that we get in. There doesn't need to be any big announcement.
Back here in the middle. Okay, we'll get you.
Andy Rickoff, KNDS Radio. Coach, what's this night before like? Do you lose sleep? Is it hard to go to sleep knowing what's on stake the next morning?
You don't sleep well before any night before a football game normally. But no, we have a lot of things we have to get done still. We have a walkthrough, and it'll be neat because we'll have upwards of 200 alums out there, former players, which not many schools can have that, where they'll come out to practice and they'll interact with our guys. It's really special, and then we'll go back to the hotel, have dinner, have some meetings, and it's an early start, so we'll get the guys off their feet probably by 8 o'clock, 8:30, and just go through our final notes, and we're fortunate we played in an 11 o'clock game in the playoffs, so it wasn't that long ago we were doing this.
Okay, we got up here. Yeah.
Brian Sean, KVOI. Coach, your last practice of the season finally. I know it's been a long ride, and every senior class has their own unique personality or kind of trait that you remember them by. What are you going to remember this senior class by, maybe compared to any other senior class that you've had here?
Resolve. Biggest thing. Resolve through adversity. Because a lot of people wrote these guys off after Montana and said, boy, we're not going to be very good, especially on defense, and a lot of those guys improved. We were 4-2, sitting in a locker room. Didn't know we'd lost a starting quarterback for the season. Didn't know what Easton Stick was going to do. We knew his ability, and we had a real tough meeting on Monday after that South Dakota game, and everybody bought in to say, hey, we're going to make this run. We're going to rally around Easton Stick, and we're going to make a run and concentrate on just winning every day. And hats off to these seniors for being phenomenal leaders. But their resolve through adversity this year, unlike any other, has been really special.
Got somebody here in the back here, or in the middle. I see you.
Ross Uglum, scout. Coach, describe that last practice with all the alums and former players and how that tradition got started and what it means to the guys that are on the team now.
We did it in 2011 when I was here as a secondary coach, and I don't know if it happened prior to that, but we did it in 2011 and had a lot of guys around, and each year probably more and more, just like more people in general have migrated south for this championship game over the 5 years, and it's neat because it's my chance to thank those people for laying an unbelievable foundation of Bison culture, and the environment and standard that they set is second to none, and it gives those guys an opportunity to interact with our players. It gives our players, we'll let a player talk to them, we'll let one of our coaches talk to them. It's a pretty special moment that I'm just blessed to be a part of.
Okay, up here front.
Mike McFeely from the Forum. Are you worried about your offense losing its rhythm now with Carson at quarterback because it's been rolling so well with Easton here for the last 5-6 weeks?
Yeah, there's obviously a little bit of concern on that. I'll take it back to the 3-week layover. I think I worry about our defense tackling after 3 weeks. I worry about the contact getting back crisp after 3 weeks. I would worry about our timing with our receivers in Easton or Carson after 3 weeks. So it is kind of and he mentioned it, it's kind of a first game feel. It is for both teams. And so when you're going into a first game feel, you're going to have some mistimed on some things, whether it have been Carson or Easton, but we just feel that Carson's ready to go.
Okay, we'll have time for just a couple more questions. Anybody? Well, we can end it now.
Great. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Good luck, Chris.
You bet. Thank you. Appreciate it.